Uh, Good evening and welcome to the session. Today I'll present the strategic priorities and the way the business is done at ITC Limited. A profit of 15,000 crores last financial year. ITC diversified presence in FMCG, hotels, packaging, paperboard, and specialty, and agribusiness. ITC's aspiration to be an exemplar in sustainable practices is manifest in its status as the only company in the world of its size and diversity to be carbon positive and solid waste recycling positive. In addition, ITC's businesses and value chains create sustainable livelihoods for more than 6 million people, the majority of whom represent the poorest in rural India. Over the next 15 odd minutes, the topics that I'll cover is vision, mission, values, history of ITC, key milestones, uh, key facts, core competence, resource and capabilities. A bit of time spent on triple bottom line and corporate strategy, governance, functional strategy, business portfolio, vertical and horizontal integration, mergers and acquisitions, international businesses, and then try to put the entire model into the Porter's five forces and a bit of BCG matrix. Core values. What comes to my mind when I look at ITC as an organization is a nation orientation. In every single step over the last couple of decades that I've been watching the company, this is something which attracts me to it. Trust-based, customer focus, respect for people, excellence, innovation. Very nicely crafted vision and mission of the organization. Sustain ITC's position as one of India's most valuable corporations through world-class performance, creating growing value for the Indian economy and company stakeholders. The mission to enhance the wealth-generating passive enterprise, in a globalizing environment, delivering superior and sustainable stakeholder value. Very powerful mission and vision statements. Very humble beginnings. The company was started in 1910 under the Imperial Tobacco Company of India Limited. Over the years, ITC has taken its current form of ITC Limited, so to say, and the India Tobacco Company. Very modest beginning. JL Nehru Road, Calcutta, Virginia House. A file photo of T.V. Ramaswamy is standing there. Today, Calcutta is one of venerated landmarks is ITC's Virginia House. And trying to create what ITC does is all the three sectors of the Indian economy, namely agriculture, manufacturing, and services. I think clearly iconic luxuries, hotel properties, manufacturing, state-of-the-art facilities contribute to the Make in India campaign, the Atmanirbhar campaign, agriculture multiplying farmers' income, clearly out there, even before what Prime Minister Modi thought about. I think the Indianization of the whole process is what attracts ITC and makes it big. The key milestones of 1925, 1975, backward integration, packaging, printing, then hospitality sector entry, then you have paper boards and specialty papers, 1979. 1985, key time when ITC took the first steps beyond the national borders in terms of doing work with Surya Nepal in creating the cigarette division and the other products there. 1990, paper boards and specialty papers, consolidation expansion. 1990, agribusiness, strengthening farmer linkages. I think between 1990 and 2005, 2008, this is where the company spent a lot of time building a lot of products and diversifying from the core. I think the whole game plan of the foods was built around the end of the century. 2000 is where Vice Deveshwar said, guys, you also want to be seen as also a cigarette making company. So that means the idea was very big. The whole the game changer was to shift the entire company to a new portfolio and create a rich base rather than sitting with a sin product. While tobacco was something which had to be the existence base because it was a lot of contract farming, a lot of livelihoods at stake. So the company would not have moved away from the product category, but then they wanted to do something which is bigger and more aspirational and more acceptable to the Indian to the society as well. So that is where the rapid expansion happened in the FMCG sector. Key facts: over 60% net revenue coming from non-cigarettes. That's a key shift in the last 4 or 5 odd years. Market cap of over 2.5 lakh crore, 25 world-class brands, 10-year value addition of 3.8 lakh crore. Group companies employ about 36,500 people. An exemplar in sustainable business practice, clearly out there: carbon positive, water positive, solid waste recycling positive. Resource and capabilities, a quick look at trying to put it into that matrix. Tangible resources, diverse business portfolio, cash-rich, debt-free companies, 76,000 crore of revenue, PAT of 15,000 crores. Free cash flow 12,000 crore, really cash rich. Third largest FMCG player in India, clocking 12,850 crore only on FMCG. Look at the FMCG only. Market cap of 2.5 lakh. We spoke about 2.8 lakh crore value addition in the last 10 years. Intangible resources, world-class brands, 35 plus, strong brand recall and salience, customer relationships, strong corporate governance, rich heritage, over 900 patents filed. Human resources, look at 36,500 talented workforce, committed NGOs and partnerships with good channel partners, inclusive and diverse management leadership, operational capabilities, distributed manufacturing footprint, a mix of large integrated manufacturing facilities like the Haridwar and other, Trichy, Kapurthala, all those facilities, Saranpur, Munger, Bangalore, cigarette factory, all those, and co-manufacturing with small entrepreneurs. That's the key shift that I'm looking at. In terms of go-to-market, the speed of product development. This is where the company did a lot of work. Over 100 hotel properties in 70 odd locations, luxury hotels, ITC welcome good hotels, and then you have this the second tier, the Fortune group, which caters to the mid segment of the hotel business. Triple bottom line focus, sustainable business practices, strong GTM and tech-enabled supply chain, dynamic capabilities, diversification by building own brands and acquisitions, innovation, R&D capabilities, building power brands, clearly eChopal, digital, strong R&D center. I think core competencies, strong distribution reach, superior brand building capabilities, effective supply chain management, and service skills in hoteliering space. Triple bottom line, we spoke about it. The belief is reflected in the company's deep commitment to contribute to the triple bottom line, namely conservation and development of nation's economic, social, and environmental capital. Empowering over 140 million, distributing to about 140 million households, over 6 million farmers being touched. That's a big number. Key corporate strategies, if I were to put it in the Ansoff matrix, I think all the four is where a lot of time was spent by ITC. Focus on chosen business portfolio, blend diverse core competencies residing in various businesses to enhance the competitive power of the portfolio. Position each business to attain leadership on the strength of world-class standards in quality and cost. Craft appropriate strategy of organization, governance processes, A, to enable focus on each business, B, to harness diversity of the portfolio. I think this is where the crux of the whole matter lies. Three-type governance structure, board of directors, 14-member board of directors taking strategic supervision for the company, corporate ExCom, or what you call it, the corporate management committee, the divisional management committees, which deals with individual businesses, whether it's the foods or the hotels or the paper board or whatever else that you have in the business. So thereby enabling focus on each business, harnessing diversity of the portfolio. Functional strategy, marketing, house of power brands, develop power brands, back it up with the right advertising campaigns, high visible campaigns, rope in the right brand ambassadors, purpose-led campaigns, synergy and integration across brands, deepening consumer engagement with online recipe shows. Recently, I saw this, even during the pandemic, that, have those EP noodles on Facebook and post your photo. So that's a consumer engagement for you. Operation strategy, own and distributed manufacturing we spoke about, backward integration of sourcing technology we spoke about, create synergies with integrated large facilities. We named a few of the facilities that ITC possesses in its in its kitty. Investment in green tech and sustainability program, leverage MSME sector with co-manufacturing setups in FMCG space, lead certified hotel buildings, green buildings, maximizing resource efficiencies, EHS and food safety governance, contracts farming at the back end to integrate to the front end. Human resource strategy, clearly ITC Gurukul, anything which a large corporate which does really well, PMP, talent management programs, the GET program, that is the graduate engineering trainings and the management training programs, manufacturing excellence, stakeholder and community engagement, supporting inclusive growth, diversity and inclusion, the encouraging diversity and inclusion, a very inclusive organization. Finance strategy, support strategic priorities through retained earnings. I think this is a big shift from the other companies in this space. ITC uses own retained cash to fuel capital spends, acquire assets and brands and build on them. So acquiring brands was one of the key strategies. Okay, they looked at Be Natural to pick up this thing to take on the likes of PepsiCo's Tropicana and Real Dabur. So this is where they invested on Be Natural and trying to build the brand in the Tetra Pak segment. Sunrise Spices acquired about 2,000 crores. Today helps them do the spices part of the business. Okay, Savlon, Triveni, multiple such acquisitions they try to do apart from building their own brands. Debt-free cash flow, efficient working cap management, uninterrupted dividend to shareholders. The left side of the screen may not be visible, but what I see is they've been really paying dividends consistently over the last decade. Asset light model as well as a mix. This is the business portfolio. We spoke about all of this. Vertical integration. And a lot of time and energy has been spent by to scale. One of the strategies that you need to have is build raw material scale in terms of backend integration. I think e-Chopal was one such initiative. It created a lot of technological inputs to farmer this thing to ensure that their produce yields go up, raising agri competencies through knowledge and technology transfer, bringing appropriate farm and non-farm services close to farmers' doorstep, expanding choice and services for evolving the rural customers. And in the end, what do you get as a company? You get an insurance against supplies is what I would say as the outcome of this entire engagement that ITC has done, whether it is on wheat or potato or tobacco, whatever you look at. And I know they had these skills with them. They had done tobacco contract farming, and hence automatically this was replicated across all other businesses that they had. So we spoke about this chart. Typically, leaf tobacco fueling cigarette business, contract farming. Again, paper boards fueling the wood waste. All these get converted into sustainable resources. Agri business, agri products, whatever you do at the back end helps you in delivering the food business. So this is something which really ITC is doing well. Horizontal integration, the paper boards and specialty paper, backward integration we did. The company acquired Tribini Tissues Limited and later merged with the Bhadrachalam unit. Okay, ITC's B2B brands like Cyber, Excel Pack, Sapphire Graphic, all these are very top of the mind recall in the B2B space. Mergers and acquisitions. One, A, you build your brands. B, how do you achieve speed to market? I think speed to market is where ITC was constantly looking at, whether it is the acquiring of the B Natural juice or the Savlon or Charmis or Nimle. I think clearly ITC has a game plan, and Sanjeev Puri is the chairman, taking from the previous chairman, Vice Deveshwar, continues to believe in this thought process that ITC has to be hungry for acquiring assets. So that's something which is really, and very carefully thought out strategy to fuel or speed up the growth. Okay, international business, Welcome Hotels Private Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of ITC, was incorporated in Sri Lanka with the objective of constructing, building, and operating a mixed-use development project, including a luxury hotel at Colombo. The Board of Investment of Sri Lanka has provided about 5.86 acres of prime sea-facing land in Colombo to the company on a 99-year-old lease, clearly taking luxury beyond the borders. Surya Nepal Private Limited, an Indo-Nepal UK joint venture which started operations in Nepal in 1986. Okay, is the largest private sector enterprise in Nepal, and it's engaged in the business of cigarettes, safety makers, and ready-made garments. And again, whatever you were doing in India, Will's Lifestyle, cigarettes, safety matches, agarbatti, whatever we were doing has been replicated there. So clearly, the business is in place. Trying to put the Fortis 5-force model for the entire business portfolio. Tobacco, threat of potential entrants clearly low, very regulated, not almost next to impossible. Bargaining power of suppliers low, bargaining power of buyers low, substitutes low, competition moderate. Hotel, threat of potential entrant, very high capital intensive, moderate, bargaining power of suppliers low, power of buyers high, substitutes low, competition high. FMCG space, the threat of potential entrants high, very cluttered market, bargaining power of suppliers low, bargaining power of buyers very high. Consumers are very price sensitive. Today, you just can't get over them. You are only quality and cost and repeatability where you have to continuously be rooted to. Substitutes very high, competition very high. Agribusiness rate of potential entrants clearly low. Not everybody can afford ITC's. It is like buying a huge insurance, so that comes at a premium. Bargaining power of suppliers very high, bargaining power of buyers low, substitutes low, competition moderate. Paper boards and specialty paper, threat of potential again very capital intensive, water intensive, threat of potential entrants low, bargaining power of suppliers high, bargaining power of buyers low, substitutes low, competition moderate. Infotech clearly the dog in the business. Too many players in the market, too many core competent guys out there, in ITC really lacking the depth in that business, and that's a challenge business. And looking at the BCG, trying to place the entire thing in the BCG model, clearly star products out there, paperboard, specialty paper, hotels, agribusiness. I think they are right up there. Okay, and they are in a high this thing. They continues to the industry. The star product, the paperboard and specialty paper is slated to grow at about 7.8% CAGR by 2024. Okay, hotels, a bit of a lull with the pandemic, but otherwise in good space. Okay, agribusiness really picking up well, and it's one of the biggest fund for ITC on exports. Okay, cash cow products, cigarette, low growth share, low growth in the sense, the market, you don't really expect it to grow, about 3%, hovering around 3% growth. Cash cow, clearly cash cow product, high market share, but low growth. Okay, dark products, we spoke about it. Information technology, clearly struggling. Question mark product, FMCG. Why I put this in FMCG in the question mark is the simple this thing is there are too many players in there who have to be really differentiated. This is something which you are sharing the pie with a lot of other players. You have to be differentiated. So ITC is trying to do a lot in this space, building some superpower brands, creating really differentiation, but a space to watch. Okay. The good news is cigarettes is about only for 40% of the business. The rest 60% coming from other businesses, which ITC sought out to start in the year, say somewhere around the end of the century, last century. Okay, FMCG won 12,800 crores, agribusiness 10,000 crores, paperboard 6,000 crores, hotel 1,800 crores. So good space. And finally, thanks to ITCportal.com. ITC's annual report has been phenomenal. ITC corporate presentations, Economic Times articles, some of them which I have referred, and it's been a very enjoyable journey doing this research over the last 3 to 4 days and trying to listen to the entire findings for the company. A great company, enduring value for the nation, nation first, all else second. I think that's something which summarizes the observations of ITC. Good luck to ITC, and thanks for providing me this opportunity to present this. Thank you.